Hello everyone. So it's been a while since I've uploaded a video here, and it's been because there's a lot happening in my life, in the world, in your lives. I'm pretty sure there's a lot happening as well, and I wanted to create this video and upload this because I felt that I've been having the conversation that I'm going to share with you with quite a few people lately, and usually when that happens, it's a sign that it's a broader theme that many of us are going through, and that it might actually be useful to just share it. And if it resonates with you, perfect, and if it's helpful, even better. So this is about many of us finding ourselves at this point in time in what feels like the end of a cycle, the end of a phase, and we're not really starting anything new. So it's almost like we're in that limbo phase. Something feels that it's complete, that it's or dissolving, something that's wrapping, and it doesn't feel that it is aligned with us anymore. But we're not sure, or we're not in the practical moving forward of a new spring in our lives, so to speak. So it's almost as if we're in the winter phase and not quite sure of what's coming next, or if we do have an idea, vision of what is coming next, we're not feeling the forward movement yet. So we're in that kind of a stasis, limbo, what Penney Peirce calls liminal space, and that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm going to be reading a few excerpts from her book Transparency right here, an actual physical book I'm going to be reading. And this is especially for this sort of transition that we find ourselves in. And it's not just at this particular point in time, it's whenever we are wrapping a cycle, like a season. So we have an entire year, we have 4 seasons, an entire wrapping of seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. That's a complete cycle. Many of us are kind of in that winter phase, so there isn't any outward action that we're feeling inspired to take, and we're kind of feeling that there's something wrong, because our society is very geared towards forward-moving, action-taking, creating, always putting out something. But these times in winter, we can imagine the cycle itself as a natural cycle. Winter, there isn't a lot of outward things happening in trees, for example, but it's a time of a lot of internal preparation and movement for the new cycle that is coming. So that's what we are, well, I would say collectively, but that seems very broad. So many of us are experiencing that right now. And what Penney Peirce terms that is liminal space. And she has quite a few things that I feel they were very helpful for me when I read this. They have been helpful to other people that I've shared this with. And hopefully, if you're feeling that type of unease with the ending of a cycle and not really knowing what to do or not do, or if you're not doing something that you should be doing, maybe this will be helpful as well. So again, this is from Penney Peirce's book Transparency. The subheading of this is Entering Liminal Space. I'm going to start here. So many of us are in liminal space right now. Perhaps we're about to cross a threshold, or have already crossed it but don't realize it, or we are waiting to see how our new self will take shape. We all interpret this experience differently, of course, but you can count on a few things. You feel in between or in limbo, that you don't know something important, that the old way is boring or damaging to your body and soul, and that you're out of your comfort zone. You haven't found an answer yet, can't seem to imagine your new life. The flow seems to have stopped, and you're losing meanings and security. If you're a left brain dominant person, your left brain will go nuts in this undefined state. It wants to know what to do, what to emphasize, what to plan for. It wants to figure something out. It does not tolerate anxiety and ambiguity, but wants facts. The left brain may label this as a time of chaos and negativity, or it will throw you into irritability, reactionary behavior, panic, avoidance, addiction, manic activity, numbness, or depression, just to have something to do. It might prefer to fill the liminal space with hyperactivity, drama, trauma, or an accident or illness, anything but nothingness. Many people I talk to identify with these left brain coping mechanisms, thinking they themselves are crazy, incompetent, unevolved, unworthy, or a failure because life isn't working. If, on the other hand, you are more practiced in perceiving from your right brain, body, heart, and intuition, you may feel liminal space as a sort of sabbatical or an important pause. You trust the flow and the evolution process and are more comfortable being with the moment as it is, knowing there is wisdom to be had by paying close attention and feeling into your experience. Waiting doesn't cause impatience. Being quiet doesn't feel like the void. Feeling spacious and full of potential is downright pleasurable. This is the soul perceiving liminal space. In liminal space, you are being directed into the non-physical world to melt down old patterns so that you can receive your new set of instructions, new imaginations, and more of your true self. You, the soul, are opening some space so the spiritual can flood into the physical, and you can learn to be soul-directed. In liminal space, you are being asked to occupy the present moment fully, to be still and transparent. Here you must be comfortable being timeless. You must become the pause. Liminal space acts like a magnet. Its very openness and peacefulness can catalyze the experience of compassion if you drop into it and be with it purely and innocently. It also clearly points everything that is not in harmony with spiritual truth and unconditional love. If you choose to trust what emerges in liminal space, you can actually enjoy the dissolving, or in caterpillar terms, the liquefying, that is the pre-threshold experience. You won't make judgments about how what comes is bad or that you're falling or failing somehow. Now, I'm going to skip this bit and conclude with this. So the great thing about liminal space is that it contains the good stuff and it knows what it's doing. Somehow those melted down caterpillar particles know how to recombine into the butterfly. It's an amazing sort of intelligence. All you need to do is be willing to be. Welcome the surprise of the melting, the threshold crossing, the arising, and the new baby-like state of the fresh self. What shape will your liquefied self be magnetized to take? And that's a lovely, I think, exposition of what we are, many of us, going through, and the way that we can actually very joyfully, pleasurably navigate this. So if you're watching this show, there's a high likelihood that you're very left brain as well. So that irritation, that I need to know something, is kind of making you go a little bit nuts. It's a time of internal poise, preparation, gathering, dissolution of the old, inspiration, a time of receiving new visions, of receiving new inspiration, even if you don't have a conscious remembrance of that, you're receiving it energetically. And when the new cycle, the new phase begins, you'll be ready to fully spread out your wings and fly. What I would only add here to what I shared from Penney Peirce's book is to not be in an energy of waiting, because that will take us away from the present moment. It will make us feel that now isn't good. I don't like this now. I'm waiting for something that will be better, that will make me feel good somewhere in the future. That doesn't serve us. That actually keeps pushing whatever is that we're about to start, keeps pushing it farther away, because we're in the energy of waiting, and the energy of waiting in its own accord will always create more waiting around us. So instead of feeling that impatience and waiting for something, the invitation really is to, as best we can, at any point in time, of course, be present. Be present with your body, be present with your emotions, be present with your sensations, be present with your environment, be present with the people in your life, be present with what is. That presence, that openness, that, as best you can, again, non-resistance to what is what will help you just flow and leap whenever that new cycle, that new inspiration, that new spring energy starts flowing forth from you. And from what I see, it's going to be a global wave as well. So something beautiful is being prepared in the background. So the caterpillars are turning into strong, powerful butterflies or any other analogy that you prefer. And soon something new will emerge, not just in one person, 2 or 3, but many, many different people all around the world. So I wanted to share this with you. I hope this was useful. Hope that it will inspire, that it will give you some practical, actually, tools and insights that you can take and apply in your life. It was lovely seeing you again, and I'll see you in the next video.